Racism against Asians has not improved and is still a major problem that's still going on, especially with the coronavirus pandemic still going on. It's, it's going to take a while to fix it, and which, of course, since the pandemic started, Asians have been fallen victim to anti-Asian hate crimes, which had been started for quite a long time back when the Asians first set foot on foreign soil. Which, of course, with the Koreatown Riot or in the USA, and also with the development of the railway, with the Chinese migrant workers, they were doing that, and most of the dangerous work, and they did not get respect for doing the most dangerous jobs, and of course, many people have died because of that. And they did not get credit for doing it. And with the final photo that development the railway, no, they were not part of that. And with World War II, when Nazi Germany, they were attacking countries, and also and putting Jewish people in camps, and while Imperial Japan, they made the mistake of bombing Pearl Harbor, which they shouldn't have messed with USA, and which they paid for it. Because of that, the Japanese community over in North America, they lost their jobs, which many farmers who were Japanese immigrants, they got their jobs taken, or everything was taken away from them. They got put in camps. Just like the Jewish, less severe though. Even if you were a descendant of a Japanese person. Canada did this as well. And not many people got their jobs back. And then with there was also Immigration Act against the Chinese people in 1885, which showed the racist side to limit Asian immigrants from coming in, especially the Chinese community, and the Koreatown riots, which it was the African American community accusing the Korean immigrants of stealing jobs, although they were just trying to make their living. Which the police got involved as well. Was another act of racism. And then Asians did not have the right to vote or have high class jobs like everyone else does nowadays. And then the coronavirus pandemic happened, and then people were like just pointing fingers at the Asians. Which, of course, when former U.S. President Donald Trump, he was making things worse by using terms like China virus and Kung flu, which had been deemed as racist. Which in scientific terms were actually coronavirus or COVID-19, or people commonly call it COVID. So anyone who was is Chinese or Chinese descent or Chinese, looks Chinese, though that was mostly the Eastern Asians. They got attacked physically, verbally, and also online because of that. And most attacks happened in Los Angeles, San Francisco, Vancouver, Calgary, New York City, Toronto, Montreal, Boston, and a lot of major cities were in Chicago, and a lot of cities where there would be a lot of Asians who immigrated to there. And although Asian people don't get that much respect, that they get overshadowed by what is called the black community, which is actually people who commonly known as African American or African Canadian, or people who have been taken over from Africa as slaves. Although even people like Far East Movement lead singer and also the owner of the Asian American music label Transparent Arts, Kevin Nishimura from Far East Movement. He did hold a music festival on July 1st, 2020. Although a lot of Asian artists did show off for that. And even Asian American Fannie Lou had to create Asian news site Next Shark for sharing Asian news due to the lack of Asian representation. And even hashtag Stop Asian Hate and the USA based Asian American support hashtag Stop AAPI to support the Asian American Pacific Islander group. Not many have really improved some people even like a Korean American reporter Michelle Lee from US talk show who had to create the hashtag variation after she got judged by fellow reporters after she said she ate tteokguk on after New Year's. Also, some artists like Korean Canadian DJ and guitarist Tavian Lee, who had to deal with a lot of racism on his end as well when he was also doing performances. People calling him Chinese on purpose, or calling North Korean, calling him the C word. And he also pointed out how people are endorsing Asian culture but not respecting Asian people, which unfortunately that is still a thing that is going on, which people are endorsing stuff like what the Japanese have created, such as like Japanese manga and anime, what the Koreans have created, such as Korean drama, K-pop, and technology, and then what the Asian food that people would eat but they would not respect Asian. And they would tell people to go back to where you came from or go back to China. I know people make mistakes like Jamie Donaldson from who owns the Mr. Beast channel, who tried to gain some popularity off making his own version of Squid Game. And people getting misled of the next Netflix version of Kim's Convenience. And although current USA President Joe Biden, he had to enact a bill to support and increase investigations of hate crimes on the Asian American people, although it was not enough to that. And also those people who are Asian immigrants who work in therapy, that section. Last year in Atlanta, 8 Asian women who are immigrants, they were running their therapy business in Atlanta, which also includes where we rub cream on yourself, or where you take off your clothes and you relax. And they got accused of human trafficking. Which those women were killed after a false police report by another American who is not Asian, and and that person made a false call. And over in Canada, this has also been going on as well for those in British Columbia and Ontario as well, for Chinese immigrants, Korean immigrants, and other Asian immigrants who run therapy businesses, or also part of them being sex shops, which is basically the therapy business, which they have been which people have called the police on them for human trafficking. And even those people who are run these businesses are not human trafficking people, which they aren't, because they are Asian. These people are calling the police on them with intent. And the fact that these Asian immigrants, they are not fluent in English. Most of the time, when the police come to the business and then they start questioning them, most of the time they get arrested and the business gets shut down just because they are Asian and they are not fluent in English. And there's also a bill which in Ontario, which current Premier Doug Ford enacted this bill, which police can legally enter these therapy businesses without consent and arrest any workers who work there. So even if you're not Asian, so not just these therapy business owners, but this bill. So you could be black, or you could be a native person, or you could be also an Latino, Hispanic, or other racial backgrounds as well, or if you're an immigrant as well, even if you are Caucasian, if you're a young one, if you're a woman, and also if you're a therapy worker, you lose your rights of consent to refuse these investigations. And while this is all trying to be looked at protection from people who are victims of human trafficking, unfortunately, these racialized communities and even women have fallen victim to this. And while there has been some protest against Bill 251, it's going to take more than people to unite against the people who have enacted this and making people like the police and social workers who are actually siding with this and glorifying it. Glorifying them as heroes. And if those people who are police or social workers who actually go along with Bill 251, they were going against human rights. Especially against the Asian community as well. So people need to stop trying to take advantage of Asian people. And if you are endorsing Asian culture, respect Asian people. And if you see any hate crimes against Asian people, please report it to the police and with the photos, videos, and any evidence you have, because if you don't have evidence, the police will not believe you. And unfortunately, when the Asian people report any hate crimes where the Asian person is a victim, the Asian person will not be looked at as a victim of a hate crime, and they will just wave it off. Which unfortunately, this is why Asian people don't really report any hate crimes. Because of what's going on right now. So stand up for us. support the Asian community. So report any Asian being targeted with racism, physically, verbally, cyber, and show all proof to the police, and also pass it on to the Asian support groups, to your local Asian support group, which most of them will probably be in major cities. And the Korean guitarist producer David Lee mentioned people are endorsing Asian culture, but not accepting Asian people, and they think they have a right to make fun of us for our differences. It's rude. Because if you really care about representation, just give respect to other people. You could even make a friend. Maybe you'll learn about other cultures, learn about the Asian culture. Because there are people out there who say they want representation and they want to support all races, but they don't mean it. You can change that. Help support the Asian people. You know what to do.